How many times have you read or watched some complex financial crap like this? Oh, hey, John. Okay, Vincent, to most effectively manage your money, we're gonna do a 40-50 portfolio split with a structured product and variable annuity with a guaranteed death benefit rider.
Wait, what?
What, you don't know a structured product? A structured product is basically a prepackaged instrument that's linked to an underlier like the FTSE 100. That's
What?
If you're going nuts because of all of the confusing jargon and, quite frankly, really bad financial advice, then I'm here to help. This video will teach you how to manage your money like the 1%. And many of these strategies go against what 90% of the finance gurus out there teach because, well, they're giving really trashy advice. So let's not waste any more time and let's get started. But first, let's get some pump up music going, shall we? There we go. There we go. Okay, let's go.
I wake up, flex, I'm down now. Check, no drip, this. Tell 'em run it up. No sleep, no rest.
The wealthy didn't just lounge on the floor one day and say, hey, it'd be really cool if I was rich, and then go back to eating their extra flamin' hot Cheetos. Well, they probably did, but they didn't just stop at thinking. They also moved on to executing. But before successful people can execute, they need to plan. So take out a piece of paper and let's jot down your money goals. The key here is to work backwards. Let's say you want to buy a private jet one day. What you want to do is figure out how much that will cost and set out the steps that you need in order to get there. Which, by the way, we're going over the exact ways to manage your money like the wealthy. The most important thing to remember is just make sure you have a goal. It will help you keep track of your progress and give you something to work towards and to strive for, because saving money just to save is really boring. But getting closer to reach your goal every single day, now that's exciting. I'm gonna share with you the most important formula the 1% uses to manage your money. And unfortunately, school didn't teach us this, but thankfully they did teach us something even more important, the Pythagorean theorem. At least now I know how to find the length of a triangle. The secret formula has to do with how much money you have coming in versus how much money you have going out, also known as cash flow. So you can imagine it as income minus expenses equal cash flow. If you have positive cash flow, it means that you have money left over. And if you have negative, then, well, you're falling into debt. Everything the wealthy does leads back to this formula, so it only makes sense that we work with this. And first we'll focus on this part, expenses. I bet you $3.50 that you didn't know that truly wealthy people were actually frugal. Warren Buffett, with a net worth of over $100 billion, still lives in the same house that he bought at 1958. And I'm not saying you gotta be like my man Buffett, but understand that truly wealthy people did not get to where they were by being flashy and fancy. The wealthy are very cautious spenders that focus on the value of things. And I want you to remember this aspect of value, because here's where I contradict 90% of finance gurus out there. I'm sure you've heard countless times before to stop buying iced coffee every single morning. What you should do instead is to invest that money and then you'll be rich, yada, yada, yada. And while that may be true, here's why I think it's complete trash. Remember when I talked about value like 3 seconds ago? Well, if that $5 iced coffee makes you the happiest person in the world, makes you a lot more productive, you're more open to chatting, more open to networking, and reduces your stress for the rest of the day, surely it's worth $5, right? A lot of finance gurus out there are grasping at straws, trying to focus so much on the little things. But instead, I think we should focus on the bigger spending habits. Like, did you really need to spend $80,000 on a brand new car that's gonna make you happy for maybe a few weeks? And then that car turns into just a regular old car with the same functionality as every other car. I'm also gonna get a lot of hate for this statement. Stop budgeting. But before you get all ninja warrior in the comment section, just hear me out. Do you believe that the wealthy have a bunch of Excel spreadsheets where they do this? On August 17th, I bought a McDonald's burger with no cheese, which cost me $2.73. I paid with my credit card ending in 7771, which, by the way, wrong move. Always get it with cheese, even if you're lactose intolerant. To be clear, I'm specifically talking about being super detailed a budgeting style that 90% of the finance gurus talk about. I personally still budget, but in a very, very unique way that makes it a lot easier and saves me a bunch of time because, hey, time is money. But don't get me wrong, detailed budgeting could still be a good option if you're on a super tight budget, if you have spending problems, or if you're in a financially unstable place. But if you don't have these money issues, then here's what I do. And this is a loosely better example of what the rich actually does. And it's called guideline automation. My paychecks are deposited into my checking account. And each month I transfer the amount that I want to spend into a spending account, which is with the same bank. My spending account includes my fixed monthly bills, my typical living expenses, and by knowing what I need to spend on, then I can set spending targets for food, entertainment, travel, shopping, etc. I also use a free app like Mint to track and see my spending categories, whether I'm hitting my financial goals, if I'm spending in a specific category more than I allotted. And I do want to emphasize that this strategy isn't for everyone, but my goal, and I think one of the best goals, is to simplify personal finance as much as possible, because just psychologically speaking, the more obstacles that we have in the way, then the less likely we are going to do it. The rich are also really good at taking advantage of laws. They hire super fancy financial professionals to help figure out dozens of different tax loopholes to reduce their taxes. And don't worry, you don't need a fancy advisor. I'll actually share some of the easiest ways that you can also save on your taxes. First is the 401k, which is an employer-sponsored retirement account. You can make pre-tax contributions up to a maximum of $19,500 in 2021 and then invest the money over time. A 401k is the simplest way to lower your tax bill, and plus your employer usually offers a 401k match, which is basically free money. And here's how this whole thing works. Let's assume your salary is $35,000 and your tax bracket is 25%. If you do nothing and you pay taxes on the entire thing, then you pay $8,750 in taxes. But if you contribute 6% of your salary, which is $2,100, into a tax-deferred 401k account, then your taxable income becomes $32,900. And the income tax on the $32,900 is $8,225, which is $525 less than the tax on your full salary. So not only do you automatically save for retirement, you also save on the taxes that you pay today. You will, however, have to pay taxes on the money when you withdraw it when you retire, but likely at a much lower tax bracket. Second is this thing called an HSA, or a health savings account, which is available if you have a high deductible health insurance plan. And just like the 401k, the money you contribute to the HSA is pre-tax. And you can also use that amount to pay for qualified medical expenses. And just like the 401k, you can also invest it. And the third and my favorite way to save on taxes is with a Roth IRA account. And this is quite possibly the most powerful way to invest. And you might have heard of the infamous Peter Thiel, who famously turned his Roth IRA account into a $5 billion monster that he has to pay how much in taxes now?
$0.
Nothing.
Zilch.
$0.
Nothing.
With a Roth IRA, you contribute money that's already been taxed on, but you don't have to pay taxes when you withdraw it in retirement. So although these contributions don't lower your tax bill in the present time, after your money grows a few years after years, then you can withdraw the full amount tax-free. You remember those pesky loans that you took out years ago that you're still now paying off every single month? Well, that's really impacting your expenses. And I'm gonna show you the smartest way that the rich actually uses to get rid of them. The reason these bad debts are so annoying is because of the interest rate that you need to pay. The longer the interest grows, the more you're gonna end up paying. Now, the quickest and mathematically speaking, the most efficient way to get rid of this debt is using this thing called the avalanche method. And here's how you can do it. Think of how much money you can budget to pay off your debt every single month. Now, make a list of all your balances and the minimum payments that's required, and list them in order from highest to lowest by interest expense. For example, let's say you currently have a $1,000 credit card balance with a 20% interest rate, a $2,800 credit card balance with a 10% interest rate, and a $17,000 car loan with a 8% interest rate. What you want to do now is make all the minimum payments on your balances and put any leftover money towards the balance with the highest interest rate. In this example, it's going to be the credit card with the $1,000 balance, and after you fully paid off that $1,000 balance, move on to the balance with the next highest interest rate, which is the $2,800 credit card balance. And again, put as much money as you can towards it, and then rinse and repeat. Now, many finance gurus out there recommend the snowball method instead, where you pay off the smallest balance first to keep you psychologically motivated on track. But mathematically speaking, the avalanche method is the best way to go. Okay, cool, so we covered the expense part for the most part. Let's now tackle this income part. And if you're enjoying this video, I'd truly appreciate it if you could turn that like button into a beautiful black and comment below what's the first thing you want to buy when you're rich. And also make sure you stay until the end to learn how to supercharge this entire formula that many finance gurus do not talk about. Getting back to Warren Buffett and quite frankly, many wealthy people, they all made millions and billions from investing their money. It's one of the key ingredients to managing your money effectively. But it's super important that you invest smartly. And I'll show you the easiest way to get started. But first, here's the way not to get started. You've probably heard a lot about day trading from a bunch of different finance gurus, but what they don't tell you is that 90% of day traders lose money. And if you don't want these terrible odds when it comes to your money or anything 90 to 10, then the best thing you can do is instead invest long-term. Before I tell you what I personally invest in, let me show you the true power of investing. If we invest just $100 every month for 50 years at a rate of return of 10%, at the end of the 50 years, you would have only contributed about $60,000. But from over time in the stock market and returns you make, your total portfolio value will be $1.4 million. The best and easiest way by far to start investing is with these things called index funds. Basically, instead of investing in one stock that can go up or down, with an index fund, you actually invest in hundreds of different stocks where you diversify your money and reduce your overall risk. You can pretty much just set it up and forget it. Plus, some of the indices that I actually invest in outperform nearly 90% of those fancy fund managers out there. If you're interested, check out this video here, but only after you finish with this video. Technically, it's not income until you realize the gains, but you get the idea. I'm also gonna get a ton of hate with my next strategy, but it's also really key on how the wealthy got so wealthy and also how they manage their money. So make sure you listen very carefully. You can use good debt to increase your income. Yep, there, said it. That's it. You need to realize that not all debt is bad. And the idea that you need to avoid all debt is pretty trash financial advice, assuming that you're responsible with your money. Good debt is the type of debt that allows you to create wealth as the income and the capital growth from the investment pays off the debt and exceeds the cost of paying off the debt. Let's say, for example, you purchase a rental property for $200,000 and you rent it out for $2,000 a month. You pay $1,000 a month to the bank for the mortgage payments, and let's say you need around $600 per month to cover all the expenses in running your rental property. So what this means is that your property is now making you $400 each month, including all expenses. However, there's always one thing you need to keep in mind. It's the risk involved, that your investment may actually decrease in value, which results in you owing more on the loan than the value of your investment. So make sure you're extra careful with this strategy. The next way to increase your income, before I get into the 2 ways to supercharge your cash flow formula, is simply by making more money. And I'll share specific tips on what I personally did to do this. Now, you could do the traditional thing that I've done before, such as working overtime, asking for a raise, getting extra qualifications to get a better job, or you can do what the cool kids are doing nowadays and start a side hustle. Because if there's anything that's good for you, it's doing what the cool kids are doing. But seriously, side hustles are a great way to make extra money. It's actually what jump-started my journey into entrepreneurship, and all it really requires is putting aside a couple of hours every few days to work on it. If you're interested, you should check out this video for the side hustles that I built up that should give you some ideas. So that's all the normal things that wealthy people do to manage their money, to improve this cash flow formula. But there are 2 secret ways to supercharge it that not a lot of people talk about. One thing that you need to realize and always remember is that no one, no thing deserves to get a chunk of your money more than yourself. Here's the secret. The 1% loves to educate themselves, to gain information because of the value that they can get down the line. And thankfully, you're doing the same exact thing right now by watching this video. So definitely give yourself a pat on the back. Investing in yourself can yield one of the best returns on investments that you can ever make. Whether it's investing in learning a new skill, developing yourself professionally or personally, you need to give to yourself first before you can give to others. It's your responsibility to take the time to develop your gifts and talents so that we can best serve others. And it doesn't mean higher education. Educating yourself can take many different forms. For example, I didn't all of a sudden learn how to film on videos, how to write scripts, how to SEO on YouTube, how to edit videos, film on camera. Did I say that already? I actually picked up these skills throughout more than 10 years. 10 years from the small projects that I worked on throughout that time frame, and YouTube and this channel is the culmination of those 10 years of self-education. The next way to supercharge the cash flow formula is through strategic planning. And don't skip this part in any part of your life, especially when it comes to money management. You need to make sure that you have the money to support yourself through struggles that can pop out of nowhere. Make sure you have an emergency fund that will support you for up to 3 to 6 months, even if you don't have any income. And this cushion of cash will give you a greater peace of mind that would allow you to take greater risk to allow your income to grow. And plus it'll help you rest easy at night because you won't face the financial pressure every day that something's gonna go wrong. But where should you keep your money? We all know banks nowadays offer such low interest rates that there aren't many good places to store your money. The national deposit rate for interest checking accounts as of August 16, 2021 is 0.03%. So you're pretty much earning nothing on your cash. So that's why I'm excited to announce that we've partnered with our sponsor, H.M. Bradley, an invite-only fintech platform that responds to how you manage your money. What's really cool about H.M. Bradley is that it offers saving tiers, meaning that with a monthly direct deposit, the more you save during a calendar quarter, the more you can actually earn in the next quarter. For example, if you're in saving tier 1, you can earn up to 3% annual percentage yield on your balance of up to $100,000. which is 100 times more than the national average. The second cool thing is that you can really take advantage of the power of compound interest because you can earn interest on top of your deposit as well as the interest that you earned on your original deposit. That means that you can make your money work even harder for you. Plus, your deposits are issued by Hashbank member FDIC and are insured up to $250,000 per depositor. If you're interested in taking advantage of the saving tiers and potentially getting up to 100 times more than the national deposit rate, check out H & Bradley in the description below. If you sign up through my referral link, you'll skip the waitlist and be able to apply for an H & Bradley deposit account right away. It's really that simple. Everything comes back to this cash flow formula. Everything you do in life will impact this or all of it. And even if you spend thousands of dollars with a private financial advisor, they're gonna start with the exact same formula and tell you what I told you today. Now that you have a solid plan, it's time to execute because thinking and planning without taking action doesn't do anything. The best time to start was yesterday, but the next best time to start is today. And if you're feeling financially behind, it's important that you check out this video over here.